I find it really fascinating that you say you went into, IT because you did not like writing that much.
Yeah.
But you wrote a book.
Yeah.
Tell me about the title of this. Like, I find that really fascinating. The title of the book, what it was, and why did you choose to write a book at that time? What is it that you thought was an idea worthy of sharing with the world, at your age especially?
So it's crazy. A lot of people don't know that I wrote a book besides my very close family and friends. So during my matric year, I was like really pissed off at like school, right? I did not get along with a lot of my teachers, and it wasn't because I was like rebellious just for the sake of like can you go fish at school or whatever. It was more from like I would ask questions and they wouldn't give me the answers that I would want, right? So I would ask my maths teacher, like, why am I learning all this formulae, in class? And she would be like, yeah, because you need to know this so that you can pass. And so it didn't make sense to me if like, is that the only reason I need to learn this just so I can pass? What's the goal of passing? Like, she didn't give me, I didn't get a lot of like, enthusiasm from like doing a lot of the schoolwork because I was like, I'm not gonna need this. Yeah. So why am I doing it? So like I was very picky in terms of what I studied. So during my matric, which was a very rebellious move for me, while people my age were like studying for their exams and like taking extra classes, I was writing a book, right? And I titled the book Dropout.
Okay.
So I dropped out effectively from university before I even dropped in. Right, which is funny enough. Like, yeah, because I was like, I'm not gonna go like, to like, further my studies. Well, my parents forced me to like. I actually wanted to drop out in grade 11. My parents were like, chance, never. So I'm cool, to blow me down.
Our roof.
Yeah, no. They weren't even laughing about it. Yeah, they weren't laughing about it. So I then was like, okay, cool. I'll just finish my matric. So I actually calculated, okay, cool, how much I would need for each subject just to get the pass mark. Yeah. Right. So I was like, okay, cool. Going into the exam, I need to get out of that paper of like 150. I would need to get like 40 out of 150, and then I would pass because like, how like they combine your like like term 1 to 3, and then like your exam, which would count for like 75% or 50% for some subjects. So I was like, okay, cool. As long as I can pass. So I was like, just make it enough so you don't fail. That was my goal. Like, I wasn't like trying to get like distinctions or all that. I mean, which is cool for some people who are trying to like be doctors and all that. So I wrote a book called Dropout. Actually, funny enough, got a publisher who was willing to actually publish the book. So I had an editor who worked with me on the book, right? So I would send him my work, and then he would be like, oh, okay, cool, like your English, your grammar, and all that, like make it, and like it was like a back and forth work that I was doing during my exams, to like try and like prove my point of why I feel like people can learn, from other sources and not just from like one source of information, or which is school, which is like, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, So I was like, you can probably like circumvent that like traditional route, which was meant like to like make factory workers back in the day. Yeah, it's like sit down, because when you get to school, right, and it's like and it's like you aren't allowed to like stand up unless you like you have to like raise your hand first before you can like say anything. Like they don't really care so much about what you think, like your opinion. You've got to give the right answers. Like it's kind of like it's great for most people, but like I feel like it's not the only answer, most especially in our current day and age where people have like the wealth, at the fingertips with the internet.